Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Auction Recons. Being asked what I use to record audio and video for the channel here, it gave me an idea to make a video on the subject and what I use and what I find quality and useful and what I find that hasn't worked for me, and maybe I can pass that on to you and save you some money. I am not a high-tech guy. I barely know what the hell I'm using, what's in front of me here, but I can show you exactly what I've picked up and what has really worked the best for me. And I am starting, although not extravagant, I am really starting to get quite the collection going on here when it comes to recording audio and video for this channel here and beyond. I hate wasting your time, so let's get right into the video. So really what I've picked up over the years covers everything from a vlog style video, a stationary video, where I'm just sitting there speaking to you, a podcast setting, all the way up to an action capture setting and everything in between. So let me start here and we'll work our way all the way across the board, and I'll show you what has worked for me. When it comes to a vlog style or a podcast style, you can really go down the rabbit hole and invest a lot of money in equipment. This is just a basic, every once in a while, starter kit using a laptop, around $700, using a Razer video camera, and then also a Samsung microphone. You can get a desk stand microphone. You can get a boom type microphone where it drops from above down into you and captures your audio that way. And then of course a headset. So this is just a starter kit. And this would be used for me doing a Q&A or a podcast type video. And although not extravagant equipment, gets the job done. Next, we're going to move on to something that's a little bit more expensive and professional and can be used for both vlogging, podcast, and action style footage capture. And this is going to be the Sony a6100 here. Something like this is going to cost you $1,500 or more. It comes in a kit with different types of lenses for, up close and far away. This one here has a great stabilizing capability. These cameras by themselves aren't great when it comes to stabilization, but the quality of the picture is fantastic. What you want to keep in mind is hooking it up and matching it with something great when it comes to capturing audio. You can get a huge mic for on top of this unit, such as something like this. And these mics, there are so many to choose from. This happens to be a lavalier type mic. So this attaches to the camera. It's remote. This gets attached to your belt line here, and you put it right below your collar and clip it on, and this will catch the audio, feed it to the camera, and then you don't have to do any type of overlay when it comes to sound. Now, this is great on a stand, doing stationary shots, staying in one place, maybe capturing me, polishing a car, washing it, or in an office setting if I was doing a vlog or a podcast style video, me sitting at a desk. This would be great on a stand, recording that type of video. So I would divide these from these here and put this on the upper end. These are great, but they're meant for really stationary capture of audio and video. Let's get to some more action type of capturing your audio and video right here to the right. So now we're going to start getting into GoPros. And there are many other action cameras similar to the GoPro in size and stature and the way they can attach to anything from helmets to a chest band to belt height to a selfie stick or a gimbal type handle just like this. There are many ways to attach it to the handlebars of a bike or a motorcycle. There's a suction cup so you can attach these things to your car and get some great shots of you driving your vehicle, some exhaust shots, some ground shots, some steering shots. And this comes with, I mean, just numerous amounts of gadgets, a case for it that you can clip, but which is also magnetic, suction cups. One thing I do recommend for GoPros is picking up quite a few more batteries and have them in a charger like this ready to go. So we have one inside the unit, we have two ready to go, so they're interchangeable because over time they will start to die quickly. Now the pros and cons of these are they are great action cameras, meaning if you have them even attached to handlebars on your bike on a really crazy rough trail or road, the stabilization in these are great. So you can have them in a detailing setting and they get bumped, and you can walk around and jump around, and whatever you're doing, the camera itself stabilizes really well. The downfall on a GoPro is going to be their audio. What I normally like to do is capture as much footage with these, and I have quite a few, so I can get different angles, and I'll download the footage and then do a voiceover because of the horrible GoPro audio. They are improving little by little, but that's the way I would go about it. So GoPro's okay, and some of their the products that are similar, some of the electronics that are similar in catching audio and video are great. Now, there's also software that needs to be connected between your GoPro and your phone or your computer, so you have a way to download it and edit and upload your video, your audio and video. So with the GoPro Quick app, you download to your phone, and you can pull the footage off the GoPro onto your phone and do your editing through whatever software you have downloaded onto that, and then you can upload from there to whatever platform that you want to carry your footage to, like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or X or wherever. So that pretty much sums up the GoPro. By the way, any one of these, if you're interested in them, there are wonderful videos on YouTube that break down each one of these electronics and go in great detail. Some videos go up to an hour or two, showing you the basics, the beginner information you need down to advanced information. I want to move next over to something everybody has in their pocket, and that is the cell phone. Okay, so yeah, I've spent a little bit of money on some of this stuff, and I always find myself going back to a cell phone for a quick capture, for great footage, great audio, and I can tell you, to match the camera that's on some of these newer cell phones, you would have to spend $1,500, $1,800 or more on some of these more professional cameras. The GoPro, to me, does not capture footage in a quality manner compared to, say, the iPhone 16 here that I have. So, everybody has a phone on them, in their pocket, nearby, they're glued to it. That's a great way to get started, and a way I would recommend to get started when it comes to capturing footage and sound for your channel. The cell phone on its own is fantastic. However, if you hook up the cell phone with a decent gimbal or stabilizer, like here, for instance, the DJI Osmo Mobile 6, it becomes symbiotic and really a great tool. And I'm going to actually show you all the features that this one has. But again, a great phone. The 16 Pro Max, which is a 1 gigabyte or 1 billion bytes or 1 terabyte, has plenty of storage when it comes to memory. And if that runs out, just get yourself a bunch of these scan disc, what do they call these things? Flash drives. So you can get as many flash drives, expand the memory that is on these cell phones right here, and you can just capture footage all day long and upload as you had time to edit. When it comes to editing, what I can recommend for the iPhone is iMovie. And it is a great way to get started and edit a video from start to finish with patching your scenes together, audio, video, your fade-ins, your introduction, your fade-outs. Everything you need is within this app, and you can actually upload straight from that app to YouTube. That said, guys, you can also utilize iMovie, teaming it up with the GoPro or your professional cameras. You would have to use apps and download the footage from the cameras themselves onto the app on the phone, and then save it from the app down onto your phone, and then upload it to iMovie and do your editing. And then from iMovie, you have to download it again to the phone to either go straight up to YouTube or whatever platform. So a lot of memory is involved, and that's why I would recommend a phone with the highest memory that you can get, or just get yourself 3 or 4 of these scan discs right here. By the way, the audio that I choose to team up with the phone that I like the most is the DJI receiver and transmitter. So I have the transmitter on my person, the receiver is right here on my phone, and it's taking in all that quality sound and putting it right on the phone so I can put it all together later. Fantastic equipment. By the way, don't forget stands and different ways to support these cameras as they are being set up around you to record the audio and video. And again, this stuff really adds up quick, so be careful. Really enjoying the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. Just to show you some really neat things that this can do without going deep into great detail. There are so many great videos that are an hour or 2 long that show what this thing can do, but really just unfolding it will bring this thing to life and fire it up. And there's an attachment that clamps to the phone that's magnetic, and that only goes on one way, so let me make sure I got it. There it is, attaches. Now you want to level this thing up, so we're going to tap it twice, and it goes into the horizontal mode, and it will stay that way. So if you're outside, inside, it'll stay horizontal with the, well, I guess the horizon, and keep this thing lined up no matter where you are or what you're doing. All you have to do is make sure that you have the DJI Mimo app, and you're going to operate the phone through the remote here using the app. And as you can see, just turning on the dial here gives you incredible zoom. You can use this to go from your front-facing cam to the back-facing cam. And you can pick an object, and you can see how the gimbal is following my hand. And once you take it away from the frame, then it's gone and it disconnects. And you can use the remote here. I mean, it has so many different possibilities. I highly recommend. I'm only covering a small fraction. As you can see here, this thing does have a telescoping feature to it where you can stretch this out and get yourself looking like a, you have a selfie stick. Goes out 2 or 3 feet. So yeah, I mean, many features for the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. And when you want to power down, just pull the phone off of here, fold that back up again, and it will power off. You can fold this up, unscrew it, put everything in this nice carrying bag right here, and you are good to go. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Again, forgive me, I'm not tech savvy. I barely know how to use this stuff. But I did want to show and share with you what I've picked up, what I use it for, and how to get started. And that is quite simply going to be with a cell phone, which you already have probably in your pocket or within arm's reach, or what you're watching this video on. And you really don't need to pick anything up until a little bit later on when you're comfortable with recording and editing. Then you can download some more elaborate editing software, pick up some better mics, and you can edit on your phone or a home PC or laptop. But the cell phone is going to be the way to go. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is quite the collection. I'm getting way too much of this electronic stuff.